How does it occur that the news editor/crime reporter who covers a murder trial in a county with fewer than 10,000 people, who has an inside relationship with the sheriff and investigating officers, who sits for every stage of the trial and writes over a dozen articles, who is witness to the delivery of a death sentence for Jerry Connor? How does this same crime reporter, when the North Carolina Supreme Court finds an error in the sentencing phase of the trial, to sit on Mr. Connor's resentencing trial, deciding life or death? Is it not further confounding when you learn that her coverage of the case began well before the case ever went to trial? That she's having exclusive, off-the-record interviews with the investigating officers who are also key witnesses against Jerry Connor? That Sheriff Barton, who secured the crime scene and supervised the initial investigation, told Knight of evidence that was not even admissible in court, including emotional evidence of how the 14-year-old son of the victim reacted to his mother's death, about his personal feelings of anger, and about what he thought was the appropriate punishment for the crime. Compare those facts with the judge's explicit order quoted in Miss Knight's own article, which bans the jurors from having contact or communication with any of the other jurors, members of the sheriff's department, witnesses, lawyers, or any of the parties involved. Now listen to Miss Knight lie under oath that she had not heard this case discussed by any person who indicated direct or first-hand knowledge of the facts. And ask yourself if Jerry Connor received his constitutional right to an impartial jury. Miss Knight has since admitted, long after the trial ended and the death penalty handed down, that she spoke with at least 3 persons with first-hand knowledge of the crime. In fact, she was the only reporter with whom Sheriff Barton would speak. Why did Miss Knight lie? Why was she so motivated to be on this jury? Would she, as news editor, be subject to intense community pressure to return a popular verdict in this rural county? Would her special relationship with the town's law enforcement officials be endangered if she returned a verdict that displeased those officials? Why has no court allowed Jerry Connor a chance to present evidence about the biased jury? Why has no one heeded the call from Mikel, the extremely conservative pro-death penalty judge in the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, when he wrote that the risk of actual bias here was comparable to or greater than the risk in virtually every other Supreme Court case on actual merit? The question is simple. Did the undisclosed relationships and secret communications between the police, the state's witnesses, and Miss Knight deprive Jerry Connor of an impartial jury? Please contact the Office of the Governor and affirm that every person is due their constitutional right to a fair trial. Insist that Jerry Connor have his sentence commuted to life in prison. Your action may be his last hope for a just sentence. Get involved at www.ncmoratorium.org.